From Wits and Weights, I'm Philip Pape, and this is Nutrition Science Daily, bringing you the latest in nutrition, fat loss, and health science, all in under 5 minutes. You've probably heard this phrase before: sitting is the new smoking. But how much of an impact does prolonged sitting really have on your health, especially if you train or exercise regularly? A recent study published in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise sheds light on the surprising effects of sedentary behavior on your metabolism, even in physically active individuals. The research followed over 2,000 adults across various activity levels ranging from sedentary to highly active. Participants wore activity trackers to measure how long they sat during the day and how often they exercised. The results were pretty shocking, although I've been talking about this for a while on Wits and Weights, the need to move and not just sit, even if you're training. But what the results found is even among those who met or exceeded the recommended 150 minutes of weekly exercise, prolonged sitting was associated with higher levels of insulin resistance and impaired fat metabolism. Now, why does this happen? Well, sitting for long periods slows down muscle contractions, which help with regulating blood flow and glucose uptake. This leads to a buildup of fats in the bloodstream, reduced insulin sensitivity, and increased markers of inflammation. So essentially, exercise can't fully offset the negative metabolic effects of sitting for hours on end. So what do we do about it? And I would say, okay, just don't sit. Well, let's be more practical about it. The first thing is just breaking up your sitting time will help. Aim to stand or stretch or walk for a few minutes every 30 to 60 minutes, right? A lot of us, our watches will remind us every hour to do that. Go ahead and listen to it and get up. Taking short breaks are going to stimulate your muscle activity and improve circulation. Along with that, I would use a stand-up workstation if that is possible for you. If you're a remote worker or even you work in an office and you can stand up and then kind of move around every 15, 30 minutes. The second thing is being just more active generally during the day with non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That is NEAT, we call it. That is a big part of your metabolism, how many calories you burn every day. And that could be not just going for walks, but pacing while you're on a call, using the standing desk that I just talked about. All of that can significantly boost your daily energy expenditure. And then number 3 is think about optimizing your timing of your workouts and your training and your movement. So for example, consider scheduling a brief walk or workout during lunch or the afternoon or wherever makes sense to counteract the sitting. Like time your training and time your walks to intentionally break up periods where you would have otherwise sat for long stretches. Now, one interesting finding from the study was that people who stood or moved frequently during the day had better metabolic health markers, even if their total exercise time was lower. So this suggests that small, consistent movements or exercise snacks throughout the day are just as important as structured training. Another key takeaway is the role of habit stacking. If you can pair movement with daily activities, right? Like, I don't know, doing your squats while waiting for your coffee to brew. That might not be the best example. Taking the stairs instead of taking the elevator, right? Can help you naturally integrate more movement into your routine. Heck, going for a walk while listening to this podcast. Now, the phrase sitting is the new smoking is pretty dramatic, but it's not far from the truth. I think the evidence is clear that too much sitting undermines some of the benefits of all the other stuff you're doing. So even if you have a dedicated fitness routine, you're kind of offsetting that with sitting all day. The good news is it's easy to counteract that with small intentional changes. So yes, exercise and training, you've got to be doing that. You got to be strength training, but also stay active throughout the day. Break up long periods of sitting with some form of movement to support your metabolism and your well-being and your mental health, frankly. All right, if this episode gave you practical ideas for staying active, follow Wits and Weights for more deep episodes on topics like this. I have episodes all about walking, about strength training, nutrition, etc. to optimize your health. Again, that's Wits and Weights. And then share this episode with someone who might need a little nudge to get moving themselves. Tomorrow, we'll examine the viral 90-30-50 diet and see whether it's a fad or a functional approach to weight loss. See you then.